Owning a home is more than just paying the mortgage. Are you ready for the real costs?
You're listening to the Bo Knows Real Estate Podcast. Tips and advice for home buyers, sellers, and owners. With award-winning RE/MAX agent, Bo Kauffman.
Welcome back to the Winnipeg Real Estate Podcast, where we uncover everything you need to know about buying, selling, and owning a home in our beautiful city. I'm Bo Kauffman, your local real estate expert with over 20 years of experience. Today, we're diving into a topic that catches many new homeowners off guard: the hidden costs of homeownership. Your mortgage might feel like the most significant piece of the puzzle, but it's far from the whole picture. Property taxes, home insurance, utility bills, and even a maintenance fund all add up to the actual cost of owning your dream home. Stick around as we break it all down so you can prepare and avoid any financial surprises. Let's dive into one of the most significant expenses beyond your mortgage: property taxes. If you're buying a home in Winnipeg, property taxes are something you need to budget for. They're based on your home's assessed value, determined by the City of Winnipeg. For residential properties, the city taxes 45% of the assessed value. For example, if you own a $350,000 house, 45% is $157,500, and that's the portion value used to calculate your tax bill. The city then applies a mill rate, a tax rate per $1,000 of that portioned value. Using the current mill rate, homeowners with a $350,000 house can expect an annual property tax bill of around $3,000. Now, here's how payments work. Property taxes in Winnipeg are due on June 30th each year, and they cover the entire calendar year from January to December. That means you're paying halfway through the year for the previous 6 months and the remainder of the calendar year. Planning for this is essential because that lump sum can feel pretty significant if you're not prepared. But there's good news if you'd rather not pay it all at once. The city offers the Tax Installment Payment Plan, or TIP for short. This program lets you spread your property tax payments out over 12 equal monthly installments, so you don't have to worry about coming up with a large sum in June. It's an excellent option for budgeting, but remember one thing: you need to register for TIP by October of the previous year if you want to use this plan. Whether you pay the full amount in June or go on the monthly plan, it's crucial to factor property taxes into your homeownership budget. It's one of those costs that can sneak up on you if you're not ready. But with a bit of planning, it's completely manageable. Now that we've covered property taxes, let's move on to another important piece of the puzzle: home insurance. Stick around, you'll want to know what to expect. Let's talk about another crucial cost of homeownership: property insurance. If you're getting a mortgage, this isn't optional. Your lender will require you to have home insurance in place before they finalize the deal. No home insurance, no mortgage. It's as simple as that. Now, what exactly does home insurance cover? At its core, it's designed to protect your biggest investment, your home, from risks like fire, theft, or damage caused by severe weather. Most policies also cover your belongings inside the house and provide liability protection in case someone gets injured on your property. In Winnipeg, the cost of home insurance can vary depending on a few factors, like the age of the house, its location, the type of construction, and even how close you are to a fire hydrant or fire station. On average, you're looking at about $1,200 per year. Although this can be higher or lower depending on the specifics of your home and the coverage you choose. When you're shopping for insurance, make sure to compare quotes from different providers. Don't just look at the price. You'll also want to understand what's covered and what isn't. For example, water damage from a burst pipe might be included, but overland flooding often requires additional coverage. Take the time to ask questions and make sure the policy fits your needs. It's also worth mentioning that your lender will want to be named as a loss payee on your policy if there's a significant claim, like if your home is destroyed in a fire. The insurance payout will go toward paying off the mortgage first before you receive any remaining funds. So the bottom line is this: home insurance isn't just a good idea, it's a requirement if you're financing your home. And beyond that, it's peace of mind knowing you're protected from the unexpected. Next up, we're diving into the everyday costs of running a home, like utility bills. Stay tuned. You might be surprised at how much these can add up. Now let's dive into utility bills, one of the most consistent and sometimes surprising costs of homeownership. These are the day-to-day expenses of keeping your home running. If you're not prepared, they can quickly add up. Let's break it down. First up, electricity. In Winnipeg, electricity is provided by Manitoba Hydro, and the average monthly cost is around $113 for a typical household using about 1,000 kilowatt hours. Of course, this can vary depending on your home's size, energy efficiency, and how much electricity you use for things like lighting, appliances, and electronics. Next, we have natural gas, also supplied by Manitoba Hydro. Natural gas is primarily used for heating during our cold Winnipeg winters, and the average monthly cost is about $98. Remember, though, that this number can spike in winter when your furnace is running more frequently. Then there's your water and sewer bill. The average monthly cost for water in Winnipeg is roughly $66.40, which covers your household's water usage and the cost of treating and managing wastewater. If you're into gardening or have a lawn to water in the summer, this cost could be higher during those months. Altogether, you're looking at a baseline of around $277 a month for utilities, before factoring in extras like internet, cable, or phone services, which can easily add another $100 or more to your monthly expenses. One way to manage these costs is to focus on energy efficiency. Simple things like sealing drafts, upgrading to energy-efficient appliances, and using a programmable thermostat can help keep your bills under control. Manitoba Hydro also offers rebates and programs to encourage energy savings, so it's worth checking those out. So, utility bills are a cost you'll want to plan for as part of your monthly budget. They're unavoidable, but you can keep them manageable with a little effort. Next, let's talk about one more key expense you need to consider: saving for maintenance and repairs. Don't skip this one. It's a game changer for long-term homeowners.
You're listening to Bo Kauffman of RE/MAX Performance Realty. Call Bo if you're buying or selling a house or a condo in Winnipeg. Bo knows real estate.
Let's wrap up with one of homeownership's most critical, yet often overlooked aspects: saving for future maintenance and repairs. Owning a home isn't just about covering your mortgage or paying your monthly bills. It's also about keeping your property in good shape and being prepared for the inevitable. No matter how new or well-maintained, every home will eventually need repairs or replacements. These costs can range from minor fixes to significant expenses. For example, replacing a roof can cost you around $7,000. Installing a new furnace might cost approximately $6,000, and replacing a hot water tank could set you back about $1,500. And don't forget appliances. Eventually, your fridge, stove, or washer and dryer will need replacing too. These are just the kinds of costs you need to plan for. A solid rule of thumb is to save about 1% of your home's value each year for maintenance and repairs. For a $350,000 home, that's $3,500 annually, or just under $300 a month. You might not need to touch that money for some years, but in other years, you could face a big-ticket repair that wipes out your savings. Having this fund ready means you're not scrambling to come up with cash or relying on high-interest credit when something goes wrong. To make saving easier, consider setting up a dedicated home maintenance fund. Automate monthly transfers into this account so it grows consistently over time. Think of it as your home's rainy day fund, except instead of saving for a metaphorical storm, you're preparing for the real-world wear and tear every homeowner faces. Let's put it all together and see what the total cost of owning a $350,000 home in Winnipeg really looks like. Beyond your mortgage payment, we've covered some essential expenses, so let's break them down and tally it all up. First, property taxes. On average, they cost $3,000 per year, which is $250 a month if you're on the tax installment payment plan. Next, home insurance. The typical cost in Winnipeg is about $1,200 annually, or $100 a month. Now, let's add your utility bills. The average monthly electricity, natural gas, and water cost is about $277. Finally, We have your maintenance and repair savings plan. Setting aside 1% of your home's value each year for future repairs adds another $3,500 annually, or roughly $292 a month. So, adding it all up, $250 for property taxes, $100 for insurance, $277 for utilities, and $292 for your maintenance fund. That brings your total monthly cost to $919. And remember, that's on top of your mortgage payment. These numbers are critical to consider when budgeting for a home. While owning a home is incredibly rewarding, it comes with responsibilities. And understanding these costs up front can make all the difference in how smoothly you transition into home ownership. Here is a little food for thought. Many people complain about the cost of condo fees, but they forget that many previously listed expenses are built into those condo fees. Water is usually included, home insurance is significantly cheaper, heating costs are lower, and a home maintenance savings plan is built in. But that's a subject for another episode, so we'll tackle that in the future. Thanks for joining me on this episode of the Winnipeg Real Estate Podcast. If you found this information helpful, share it with someone you know who's planning to buy a home. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode full of insights and tips for navigating the Winnipeg real estate market. Until next time, I'm Bo Kauffman, and I'll talk to you soon.
You've been listening to Bo Kauffman of RE/MAX Performance Realty. Are you thinking of buying or selling a house or a condo in Winnipeg? Call Bo at 204-333-2202. Remember, Bo knows real estate.